Greetings! In this video I will show you my final implementation of Feedpoint and protection, of course. So clearly we need to protect the entire assembly here, which is the horn, the preamplifier, and the TR switch, the coaxial switch, from the elements. And so we need to create a radome, so a protective cover that will be waterproof. In order to accomplish this, I could have bought a larger enclosure, but instead bought two boxes and made one unit that is custom made to fit on the end of the arm here. So I bought two ABS plastic boxes, and this is what it looks like when they're put together. Notice here I have two holes. This is where the two semi-rigid lines will come out and reach the system here, the box, which will sit right here on top of the Feedpoint arm. And obviously I'll have to seal these with some sealant and maybe some coax seal as well. Now let me show you what's inside. Of course, the horn itself, which sits against the front wall here, and I have the coaxial switch that will go between receive and transmit. And on the receive port of the switch, the normally closed connection, I have the receive preamplifier. So I get two outputs. One is the receive preamplifier going to the box, and the second output is the transmit port going straight to the horn, also going on a separate semi-rigid line to the box. So two lines will come in. In order to control the coaxial switch, I have a 10 to 20 volt boost converter, which I've put in heat shrink. So I feed 10 volts in when in transmit, and it produces 20 volts to the coaxial relay, which is enough to drive the relay. It's a 24 volt relay. And I also have the line that goes to the receive preamplifier. So two wires are enough to do the job here. And the return path, the ground, it will be the coaxial lines that go back to the system. I don't need an extra ground wire, so I'm not tying it at all. I wish I could have bought a bigger box, thicker here. I would not have needed a smaller box, but I think the combination of the two boxes together will do a good job of protecting the whole thing here. I can still slide the horn if I wish, up and down. Of course, the radome will follow. If I wish, I can also slide in and out the extension here of the Feedpoint arm if this exact position is not the sweet spot, but I know it is. I've tried it already, so it should already be positioned in the right location. These boxes are waterproof. They come with a rubber gasket that you insert all around, but obviously I am breaking this gasket. I've created some extra holes, so I'm gonna have to seal the exterior here everywhere to make sure no water gets in. And I have drilled a hole here to drain away any water that would creep in. So in order to fasten the two boxes together, I had to glue some nuts using epoxy on the four corners here, which would allow me to screw the small box against the larger cover. And it will work very well. By the way, here was a little boo-boo, which I corrected with a piece of plastic. What's left to do is just to connect the semi-rigid cables to the main box, install the box of course, and run those semi-rigid cables and seal the entire assembly. And then I'll be ready to move this thing up on the tower. All for now, 7-3.